Hey guys, so I literally just recorded this game and lost the video because it didn't record it properly. So here's take 2 of the Yawhg, or Yawhg, depends on how you want to pronounce it. I think it looks more like Yawhg to me. Anyway, little indie game, randomly generated story. You get to pick a couple of characters, or well, up to 4. So if you have a few friends over, you can each control one. And you put them in different situations to raise their stats, and at the end of the 6-week term, the Yawhg comes and destroys the town. And depending on how you did, you might be able to bounce back from it, you might not. Super interesting and always different every single time you play it, so I highly recommend you try it, and hopefully you will see why when I push this button. So these are the 4 characters you can choose from. I'm gonna choose Betsy and Bob. I don't think they actually really have names, but the Yawhg will be here in 6 weeks, and no one expects it. Not a one of us. We just keep on living our lives week by week, unaware. Okay, so on the left-hand side here we have all the different areas that we can send our characters to, and well, her stats right now, Betsy has 5 and everything. And I'm not sure what it is about that particular character, but I always like to make her more magic-y, so I'm going to send her to the alchemy tower to brew potions. You spend the week experimenting with different potion brews. You gain 2 magic and 1 mind. One day you hear one of the alchemists shout, "Eureka!" When you look over to see what he's done, you spot a small previously dead ferret come to life. Uh-oh. "I figured out the antidote to death," the alchemist exclaims. The undead ferret lets out a horrific noise and lumbers about slowly. I feel like if I praise the alchemist's accomplishment, we're gonna have a zombie apocalypse on our hands, so I'm gonna say destroy that abomination. You smack the ferret off the counter and stomp it until it stops twitching. The alchemist is horrified. You gain 1 physique. Okay, random bonuses. Alright, so we have Mr. Bob here. Now what's Mr. Bob gonna be? Are we gonna make him a manly man and make him all, like, fighty and send him to the arena? Or is he gonna be... I don't know. Let's send him to the palace. That's the forest. I should push down to get to the palace. And he is going to attend the ball. You spend the week attending fancy gatherings, and looking quite dashing by the looks of it. You gain 2 charm and 1 finesse. One day you accidentally bump into a duke. "Watch where you're going, filthy peasant." He shoves you out of the way with his hand and continues walking. I think I'm gonna go the passive-aggressive response because they tend to piss people off more. "That outfit looks really comfortable." He looks mildly insulted. "Sick burn!" You gain 1 charm. They say the last time it came, the Yawhg devoured horses whole, stole lives, tore families and family members apart. But that was so very long ago. Okay, week 2. What are we gonna do? Well, the alchemy tower worked out pretty well last time. I'm gonna stick with brewing potions. You spend the week experimenting with different potion brews. You gain 2 magic and 1 mind. One day, all the alchemists decide to take a break from work and instead throw a cantrip party? What the heck is a cantrip? One alchemist waves his hands and produces confetti in front of him. Another spawns a seemingly endless number of doves from his sleeves. Then all the alchemists turn to you to see what you can come up with. Eh. I have 9 magic. I could try a complex trick, but will I fail? Whatever. With a snap of your fingers, you bring a chair to life. You sit atop of it and ride it around the room. Okay. Everybody else is quite impressed. You gain 2 charm. Sweet! Okay, that went well. Let's see. What's our Bob gonna do? Bob is gonna go to the forest and hunt. You spend the week hunting defenseless critters. You gain 2 finesse and sell pelts for 1 wealth. One day during your forest excursions, you stumble upon a swarm of rats. At first, you jump backwards in shock, but then you start to hear them conversing with one another. They call you over. "Excuse me, sir," one of them says in a high-pitched voice. "Do you think you might be able to help us out with something? You see, we're trying to elect our new leader, but it seems our votes are completely tied. We're trying to decide between Seedpaw, the vengeful, and Blighttooth, the wise," says the rat. Seedpaw steps forward. "If you vote for me, the rats will have a powerful leader, one who isn't afraid to take our fight to the enemy." I can't speak eloquently in this voice, apparently, for some reason. Anyway, proclaims Seedpaw. I'm not going to correct myself. My mouth words are broken. Blighttooth steps up. I think I like him because of his name. "If you vote for me, good sir, I will lead these rats to an age of enlightenment," says Blighttooth. Which rat do you choose? I like Blighttooth. The wise. Just because his name is cooler. Half the rats roar with tiny applause. Seedpaw bows his head and walks back into the mass of rats. Blighttooth climbs up on your shoulder and whispers ancient secrets into your ear as thanks. You gain 1 mind and 1 magic. Well, that was unintended, but still pretty good. It was honest and heartbeat, or so the stories go. The earth shook, the air went still. Okay, week 3. Now, I'm gonna take her to the gardens for something different this time, and she's gonna meditate. You spend the week in deep meditation. You gain 1 magic and 2 mind. One day, a toothless old woman approaches you. "I have a small pouch of magic beans. Would you be interested in purchasing them? I don't have any money." "I can't, because I have no money." She walks away disappointed. "There's no such thing as magic beans," you mutter to yourself. You gain 1 mind. Cool. Kind of would have liked to buy them, though, just to see what happens. You know what? I'm going to send him to the alchemy tower, just for fun, and get him to clean the lab. You spend the week cleaning up noxious chemicals. You're paid 1 wealth for your labor and gain 1 physique and 1 magic. How do you gain magic from cleaning? One day, an artificer stops by for a visit. She's adorned with magical gadgets and gizmos and is followed everywhere by her clockwork spider. The alchemists of the tower all go out of their way to impress the artificer, offering her an array of potions and elixirs. However, as she leaves, she turns to you and says, "You, I like you." She offers you a choice of one of her trinkets. The ring of clever thoughts or the ring of swift movement. So I guess this one gives mind and this one gives finesse. And since I'm already kind of doing the mind magic thing with Betsy, let's go with clever thoughts. That's not what I wanted to do. I'm not very clever, apparently. I wanted to go with the swiftness, but oh well. 3 mind it is. The alchemists are jealous. The world was howling fury chaos, screaming. The sound of all we knew being pulled in half. Okay. So that's not what I intended at all, but sure. Betsy's been working pretty hard. Let's send her to the tavern and have a little bit of fun. She can drink. You spend the entire week getting wasted. You gain 2 charm and 1 physique. One day a bard pulls out his lute in the bar and starts playing a tune. Unfortunately, his singing is horrible and is ruining the tavern's atmosphere. You decide to do something about it. I think I need high charm for this to actually work out. Probably. I got 9. Now I'll challenge into a lute duel. It'll be fun. You pour the bar owner's lute and challenge the bard to a musical duel. You only just start playing the lute when you realize you're even worse than the bard. Aww. The bard easily outplays you and motions for you to lay down your lute. You can tell there are a couple of people snickering at you right now. Embarrassing. You lose 1 charm. Oh, that's alright, I wasn't that charming to begin with. Let's see. How about you go to the slums? Just because. and we're going to fight crime. You spend the week outsmarting and beating up criminals. You gain 1 mind, 1 physique, and 1 finesse. It's not too bad. One night a man walks up to you. "Excuse me, sir. Feeling a little lonely tonight," he asks. "For a small amount of coin, I can make you feel good all night." Yeah. We're spending all our money on this. I don't know what good it's gonna come out of it, but we're doing it because I'm curious. You hand him over a small sack of coins. You lose 2 wealth. On your way to your house, you start talking about philosophy, history, magic, everything really. The two of you have an amazing conversation that goes well into the morning. You gain 2 mind and 2 charm. Cool. The man apologizes for the lack of sex, but thanks you for the chat. He refunds you back half of what you spent. Sweet. When it arrives this time, how will we fare? Will we once more rebuild, move on, be strong, or have we forgotten? Week 5, we can see the clouds coming in. It's getting scary. Let's see. Where will I send you? How about we go to the hospital? I haven't been there yet. And she can tend to the patients. You spend the week diagnosing and tending to the sick. You gain 2 mind and earn 1 wealth. One day, a patient whose voice has been cursed and replaced with piano notes will not stop talking. Oh boy, why do I always meet the people who are terrible with instruments of any kind? All the other patients are complaining that his voice is making the hospital even more depressing. The doctors have tried convincing him to stop talking, but to no avail. Well, I only have 8 charm, and considering how well that lute duel went, I think maybe it's better if I go with trying to decipher what he says. You listen to his piano keys and manage to work out what he wants is for his pillow to be fluffed. Oh, well, it's an easy request. You fluff his pillow for him, and he sounds extremely grateful. You gain 2 charm. Sweet! Now I could sing with him and possibly make things better. Although I don't see what singing with him would have accomplished, because he wouldn't have gotten his pillow fluffed. Okay. Alright, so Bobby boy, where are you gonna go to? I think maybe we should go to the forest, just for fun. Who knows, maybe there's something crazy that's gonna happen this close to when the Yawhg is gonna come. Let's chop wood, just to be different. You spend the week cutting down trees for the village. You gain 2 physique and earn yourself 1 wealth. One day you come across a group of people in the woods. From the expressions on their faces, they appear to be lost. I'm not proud of what I'm about to do. You jump out from behind a tree, brandishing your weapon, demanding they hand over their goods. One of them refuses and charges you with her pitchfork. You disarm her and knock her to the ground. Everybody quickly hands over their goods and asks that you leave them alone. You gain 3 wealth. I don't know what I'm going to do with all this money. The Yawhg's here this week. The Yawhg. It's almost here. Almost. Almost. Okay, last week. Everything counts. Okay, so where haven't we been yet with people? I think it's just the arena. But I mean, there's other options that I haven't picked at the other places. So, let's see. Missy here is going to... She's gonna go to the palace and do administrative work. You know, the most boring, dull thing you could do your last week possibly alive. You spend the week doing paperwork for the palace. You're paid 2 wealth and gain 1 mind. One day, the court jester approaches you. Would you like to learn to juggle? He asks excitedly. I'll teach you everything I know for a small sum. Yeah, I'm not gonna do anything else with my money at this point. You spend the day with the jester practicing your juggling technique. You improve dramatically. You gain 2 finesse. Sweet! You gain another 2 finesse. Even more sweet! You happily pay the jester for his services. You lose 1 wealth. Cool. So, she's set, I think. I think we could do with raising his physique and finesse a little bit. I'm thinking he probably is going to end up being our fighter guy. So how about we compete in a fight? You spend the week fighting brutes in the arena. You gain 2 physique and 1 finesse. One day, in between matches, you stumble upon one of the higher-ranked fighters ingesting illegal strength potions. Please, sir, don't report me, she cries. I'll even share some of my potion with you if you keep quiet, she adds. I ain't taking no drugs. You report the fighter to the arena officials. They thank you for bringing it to their attention and hand you a small sack of coins. You gain 2 wealth, so I'm like the richest person ever. The fighter is investigated and receives a lifetime ban from the arena. Uh-oh. The storm arrives in the night. By the morning it still rages. For 3 full days the tempest puts us through a grinder, drowns us, crushes us, ruins us. But then it ends. We see the graveyard our home has become. Our home. Does anything yet live? Is it? Are we past saving? Okay, so this is the part of the game where I get to choose the role that my characters will take on in rebuilding the town, and depending on how their stats are, they may succeed or fail horribly, and that's going to affect my ending. And all the choices, you kind of get like a little epilogue for each character afterwards too, and all of your choices kind of roll into how they do in the future and if they actually survive regardless of the town actually being rebuilt or not. So let's see, for Miss Betsy, I think the obvious choice is the Conjurer because of her mind and magic being so high. You take it upon yourself to conjure up supplies for the town. With your magic, you summon a large amount of supplies. With some effort, you're summoning more than enough lumber and food for the town. This helps the rebuilding effort a lot. So, cool. That worked out well. Now, Mr. Bob. Mr. Bob, where were you going to put you? You have lots of fatigue? Fatigue. I cannot speak. He's actually good on pretty much everything except magic. I don't want to make him the town drunk, just because I think that's pretty much just a throwaway. But considering his physique and finesse being so high, and mind, he might make a good leader. You take it upon yourself to be the leader of the survivors. You effectively delegate and prioritize tasks. You give a lot of pats on the back, rewarding everyone's hard work. This helps the rebuilding effort a lot. So that's 2 thumbs up, I think. And so we set about our tasks once more, living our lives, this time in a way we might never have expected or even wanted. But in the end, drum roll, it was a struggle, but a struggle we never abandoned. Though our home had been stripped apart, we did not let it languish. And whether we succeed or fail, we did our bests. Our bests. I'm going to add S's to things now. Who knows if the Yawhg will visit us again? Who knows if we will ever be, can ever be, ready for it? Oh, it's all sunset and happiness now. But how did my characters do individually? Let us see. While the town is being rebuilt, you spend more and more time in the alchemy tower. Your potion brewing abilities quickly become among the best in the world. Your health and mana potions are considered world-class delicacies, with people venturing far and wide to buy them. But you never learn how to brew a love potion. Oh no. It's so sad. While the town is being rebuilt, you decide to celebrate. You organize a huge festival in honor of the bravery that helps save so many lives. The first one is so successful you decide to make it an annual tradition. Every year the festival gets bigger and more elaborate, and every year it costs more and more money to put it on. You have to start charging admission, and no one is happy about it. The annual festival slowly fades out of relevance, and before long is cancelled completely. You don't really know what to do with your life after all of that. It's very bittersweet. But, yeah, there you go. That is the Yawhg. Very short little game. I mean, you can play through it yourself in about 10 minutes. Or however long this was. More like 20, I think, because I spent so much time reading and making decisions. But yeah, if you're interested, check it out. It's on Steam. $10. Well worth the money. And lots of fun with a bunch of friends. So, till next time, guys. See ya.